Hello all and welcome to the KTHM e-learning channel. I am Miss Sneha Bua from Physics Department of KTHM College, Nashik. I will be teaching you the subject which is mechanics and properties of matter. The chapter that we are going to start today is chapter 3, that is fluid mechanics. Now, in this subject, that is mechanics and properties of matter, in last few lectures, we have seen or we have already completed the first two chapters of this syllabus. That is the first chapter, that is motion, and the second chapter, that is work and energy. Okay, so in this third chapter, that is fluid mechanics, is slightly related to those. Now, in first chapter we have seen motion. In motion we introduced the motion. We studied different types of motion, displacement, velocity, acceleration, etc. Newton's laws of motion, and etc. Okay. Now all those motions that we were studying in the first chapter, and the work and energy which was done by because of the motion which those objects are doing. Okay, all those studies were concentrated at, or they were limited to the state of matter, or they were limited to the solid subjects. Okay, or solid objects. Getting it? Now in the third chapter we are starting with the fluid mechanics. That is so what is happening here is we are studying with the mechanics of fluids. Okay, that is a different state of matter. In the first two chapters we have seen the mechanics of the first state of matter, that is solid. Now in this chapter we will study the mechanics of the fluids. Okay, now first we will see what we are going to see through this, or what topics we are going to study during this video or during this first lecture. First we'll introduce what are fluids, then we'll see the concept of viscous force, viscosity, coefficient of viscosity, unit and dimensions of the coefficient of viscosity. Okay, so we will start with the introduction of what is called as a fluid. Okay, now fluid is a substance that can flow. Getting it? As both the liquids and gases can flow, so both are termed, or both are considered as fluids. Not only liquids are fluids, gases are also fluids. So what is the definition of fluid? Is the substance which can flow. Since both the liquids and gases can flow, hence both are considered to be fluids. Now, fluid mechanics deals with the laws of equilibrium and motion of a fluid. Okay, fluid mechanics okay, deals with laws of equilibrium and motion of fluid. Motion of fluids. Now, while studying the fluid mechanics, we do not take into consideration the molecular structure of the fluid, but we consider the fluids as a continuous medium. And we begin our study with the fluid statics, a branch of fluid mechanics which deals with the study of fluids at rest in equilibrium situations. The fluid dynamics is another branch of fluid mechanics which deals with the laws of motion of fluid and its interaction with the solids. Okay, so now in the fluid mechanics we are going to study two different parts. The first is fluid statics and fluid dynamics. So fluid statics is what it is, a branch of fluid mechanics which deals with study of fluids at rest. Study of fluids at rest. When the fluid is moving, okay, and it is having interaction with the solid surfaces, that study of fluid is called as a fluid dynamics. Moving fluid. So fluid dynamics is the study of fluid which is moving, which is in a motion, and that fluid is making an interaction with the solids. Now fluids, some properties of fluids that we should know, and we already know, is that fluids does not possess a definite shape of its own. and the fluid is called as ideal fluid when its viscosity is 0. Now what is viscosity? Viscous force, everything we are going to study in a few minutes. Now the thing or the important property of the fluid is what? It does not possess any definite shape of its own. Now from this demonstration or from this animation you can see that I have tried to show you that depending upon the shape of the container, fluid is taking its shape. Okay, so it proves that it does not have its own shape. Now again, the fluids under study may be compressible or incompressible. Okay, now usually the liquid is treated as incompressible fluid because of the effect of pressure applied on the liquid does not affect its density. The gas is called as compressible fluid because the effect of pressure on the gas affects its density. Now in this chapter we shall mostly deal with the liquids, and we shall assume that the liquids under consideration are non-viscous and incompressible. The equation derived may be applicable to gases in many cases with some modifications. Now we will see the concepts of viscous force, viscosity and coefficient of viscosity. Now viscosity is the measure of ability of a fluid to flow. It is an internal friction in the fluid. To understand the concept or the term viscosity, we will consider motion of a liquid over a horizontal surface. As you can see on the screen, there is a horizontal rough surface AB or a solid surface AB on which a fluid is moving. Now when the motion of liquid on the horizontal surface is slow and steady, okay, for the slow and steady motion of a liquid on the horizontal surface, the layer of the liquid which is very close to the solid surface or which is in a contact with the solid surface is considered to be stationary. Okay, and its velocity along the surface is 0. A layer of the liquid along the surface, velocity is 0, it is considered to be stationary. Now the velocity of a layer increases as we go above or as we go away from the solid surface. Okay. Now if we consider any layer, we find that layer which is immediately below that layer is moving slower, and the layer which is immediately above that layer, it is moving slightly faster. Okay, now we will see what we are talking about through this diagram. In this diagram we can see a solid surface AB and a liquid is flowing over that solid surface AB. Now the layer of a liquid which is in a direct contact with the surface AB is considered to be stationary and its velocity is 0. As we go away from the solid surface, each the different layers are having different velocities and the velocity is increasing. Now if you consider this layer, okay, the one which I am marking now, okay, this layer. Now this layer is suppose having a velocity v. Okay, now the layer of liquid which is immediately below that, that is this layer, we can name them. Suppose this is layer A, this is layer B and this is layer C. Now layer A is having velocity v, so the layer B will be having a velocity which is v minus dv, which is slightly lesser than the velocity of layer A. Okay, now if you go above the layer A, that is to the layer C, as we have told that as we go away from the solid surface, or as we go up from the solid surface, each layer is having a higher velocity. So C will be having a velocity which is v plus dv. Getting it? So what is happening is the slower moving layer will try to retard the velocity of the layer A. Getting it? The layer A is having velocity v, but layer B is having a velocity v minus dv. Okay, so what is happening is this layer B is retarding the motion of layer A. Getting it? And the layer C will try to accelerate the layer A, and it will try to increase the velocity of layer A. So what is happening due to this is, due to the frictional force in between these different layers, due to the difference in their velocity, they try to retard the original or the relative motions of each other. So what happens due to that is a drag or a backward dragging tangential force. Okay, so there happens to be a backward dragging tangential force is there in between these layers, and that force is called as a viscous force. Getting it? So what is a viscous force? It is the backward dragging tangential force in between the two layers of the liquid which is flowing. It is called as a viscous force, and it is also called as a viscous backward drag. Okay. Now the property of fluid by virtue by virtue of which it possesses relative motion between its different layers is called as viscosity. So from that example, we can define the term viscosity as a property of a liquid by virtue of which it opposes the relative motion between its different layers. It is called as a viscosity. Now what is a viscous force? It is a force which opposes the motion of one portion of liquid relative to another portion. So this is the concept of viscosity and the viscous force. Now we will see the concept of coefficient of. Now in the last slide we have seen the definition of viscosity. Now we will see this very short derivation to find out the coefficient of viscosity. For that we have to consider a flow of liquid over a plane AB as shown in this figure. In this figure you can see that AB is a solid surface over which liquid is flowing. Now this flowing liquid is divided into number of layers which are moving with the different velocities. The layer in contact with the solid surface AB is considered to be stationary. As the distance of the layers from the solid surface AB increases, the velocity of each layer goes on increasing. Okay, depending upon the distance of the layers from the solid surface AB, the velocity of each layer is changing. Now we have to consider from these multiple layers, we consider two layers, that is layer R and layer S. We consider these two layers, layer R and layer S. Okay, which are at the distance of x and x plus dx from the solid surface AB. Layer R is at a distance x from solid surface AB, and layer S is at a distance x plus dx from the solid surface AB. Now these layers R and S, they are moving with the different velocities. Why? Because they have a different distance from the solid surface AB. So the layer R is having velocity v, and layer S is having velocity v plus dv. Okay. Now since the velocity of each layer is changing with the distance from solid surface AB, we define that dv by dx as a rate of change of velocity with the distance, and we call that as a velocity gradient. Okay, gradient is the gradient. What is a gradient? If any quantity changes with the distance from any reference level, okay, or ground surface. From the ground AB, the velocity is changing, so the dv by dx, we call that as a velocity gradient. Now Newton found that the frictional force or the viscous force in between the two adjacent layers, that is capital F, is directly proportional or is proportional to the two quantities. Okay, so one of them is this viscous force between the two layers is directly proportional to the area which is in contact in between those two layers, and also it is directly proportional to the velocity gradient dv by dx. Okay, the viscous force between the two layers is directly proportional to the area between them and directly proportional to the velocity gradient. If you combine these two equations, we can write down F is directly proportional to A into dv by dx. Okay. When you remove this proportionality constant or a proportionality sign, we can write down F is equals to eta into A dv by dx. Okay, where this eta is a constant of proportionality. Okay, which depends upon the nature of the liquid. Hence it is called as coefficient of viscosity. It is called as coefficient of viscosity. If you consider a case in which the area between the two layers, okay, sorry, the area A between the two layers is equals to 1 and the velocity gradient dv by dx is also equals to 1, then this equation star will become F is equals to eta. Okay, now when we are considering a unit area swept between the two adjacent layers and with the unit velocity gradient, the F, that is the viscous force between the two layers, becomes equals to eta, which is the coefficient of viscosity. From this we can define the coefficient of viscosity such as a tangential viscous force per unit area which is required to maintain a unit velocity gradient between the two parallel layers. Okay, so coefficient of viscosity is defined as a tangential viscous force per unit area required to maintain a unit velocity gradient between the two parallel layers. Now we'll see the dimensions of eta. Okay, now what is eta? F is equals to eta A into dv by dx. So eta is equals to F into dx upon A into dv. Now write down the dimensions of everything which is there in this formula. What are the dimensions of force? M1, L1, T minus 2. Dimensions of x, that is displacement, is L1, or a distance, so not a displacement, distance, it is L1. Area, the dimensions of area is L2. Dimensions for v, that is velocity, is L1, T minus 1. From this you can calculate the final dimensions for the eta, which comes out to be M1, L minus 1, T minus 1. Now the unit of coefficient of viscosity. The CGS unit of eta is dyne second per centimeter square. It is also called as poise. The coefficient of viscosity is said to be 1 poise if the tangential force of one dyne is applied to maintain a velocity gradient of 1 centimeter per second between two adjacent parallel layers, each of area 1 centimeter square. The SI unit of eta, that is coefficient of viscosity, is Newton second per centimeter square, and it is also called as a decapoise. This is CGS. SI unit is Newton second per meter square. It is known as decapoise. Okay, so the coefficient of viscosity is said to be 1 decapoise if a tangential force of 1 Newton is applied to maintain a velocity gradient of 1 meter per second between two adjacent parallel layers, each of area 1 meter square. So 1 Newton second per meter square is called as a 1 decapoise. Thank you.